and then that night. Sometimes I'll do like I'll sign up and do it to follow trains and try and add some add followers, try and get.
After all is said and done tonight, will I still crawl back to you? Avoiding all the warning signs, and I can't find the strength to move. But is it too cliche that I wanna float this way? Or will the world fall down on me? Tell me now there's one more chance to say, for the last damn time, you're lost in overdrive. The way the story goes, I'm not your Romeo. After all was said and done tonight, well, I still felt bad to you. Footed out the warning signs, and I just found the strength to move. Was it too cliche that I went roll that way? So the world fell down on me. Tell me now there's one more chance to save. For the last damn time, you're lost in overdrive. The way the story goes, I'm not your Romeo. door alone, bruised by the sudden change of pace. Like a feather on your shoulder, you sense her reigning grace. So it's not so bad. Let me tell you, it falls from the sky and then waves its way in. A piece of light from clouds that fades in. Frost covered, fight for your life. We're all damned to hell. Turn around and let your captain save you and fight for your side. So it's not so bad. And it's not so bad. It's not so. It's not so bad. You feel the thunder in your heart. You see the lightning in your eyes. You wanna turn around and go back, start life again. So it's not so bad. Let me tell you, it falls from the sky and then waves its way in. A piece of light from clouds to face. Frost covered, fight for your life. We're all damned to hell. Turn around and let your captain save you and fight for your side. So it's not so
Hello and welcome to another night of the SharpSHOOTers. As always, we're your guests, Juice and Danny, and we hope you guys are. Did I say guest? I meant host.
did.
I've been rocking out to this music so much I forgot what we're doing here. I feel like we're at a band concert right now.
A band concert?
Band concert, you know how those work. So, ladies and gentlemen, this music is original for us tonight from Accept the Wind. One of our followers is in the band and has given us the music tonight to play. Juice, can you please talk more about it, because I am not working right now.
Sure. They are the friend of ours, friends of the show. They are band here local in New York on Long Island. And this is their music that we have playing before the show. We'll be playing their music before and after every show going forward. Proud friends of the show, proud sponsor of the show, the official band of the SharpSHOOTers podcast. We appreciate them and all their time. But definitely check them out. They have pretty good stuff. I like what they got going on. And also, the transition. Go for it.
No, go ahead. You got it.
No, we wanted to also thank one of our followers, one of our viewers here, Jay DeFalco7, for the new transition that we have to come in and out of our show and our ad breaks. Very much appreciated. They took the time to make that for us, and we hope you all appreciate it. It's some cool little effects. So we're trying to take things to the next level. So as we always say, just want to take a minute here, pay the bills. Please do support us by subscribing down below. There's a little purple star there on the browser, elsewhere on your phone. We're currently at 2 subscribers, but looking for any support to help us. It's only a few dollars a month, and it helps us to grow and do things like this, where right now we have support from our colleagues with their music and our logos, but we want to do more, and by being able to do more, we need a little bit more support. So please take the time. Even if you're not watching live, you can still subscribe. If you're watching on demand or on our YouTube, you can go to the link tree down below to see all of our socials, and we'll be working on more coming soon. So we're trying to take the next step for you, but we need you to come with us. So
Please.
all right.
And don't forget, one of our other hosts who's not here, he's just got a kid, so he might need to pay some more bills. So if we can help him out too eventually, that'd be dope.
He doesn't get any of this money. He's out. So before we forget and we get towards the end, just want to also plug next week's show while we're here now. Next week's show is going to be pretty exciting. We have our first ever crossover episode where we have our colleagues from Till 5 Wrestling over on Facebook, Aaron and Tanner. They have a show they started about 2 months ago over on Facebook. I was a guest on there about 3 weeks back, and they're going to be on our show next week. So definitely tune in. It should be fun. We're going to be doing some blind rankings with them, talking some AEW, and have some guests. So yeah, that's gonna be our first official, I guess, guest and also crossover. So it should be fun. So I wanted to plug that now, but definitely go over to their Facebook right now. Till 5 Wrestling over on Facebook. It's 2 L's in Till, and yeah, should be fun.
Yeah,
A lot of things happening, moving and shaking.
I caught the end of that show just because it was my birthday dinner, so I couldn't watch the whole thing, unfortunately. But I did catch the end of it. It was real interesting. They're real fun guys. They sound like they are very knowledgeable about AEW, at least. I don't know. I think they said not really anything with WWE anymore, right?
Yeah, they don't. They know better. So
next week I'm just gonna be once again a man on an island. It's all right. It's
No,
getting
it's
better,
okay.
guys. It's getting better.
it's really not. Okay, so let's posture check. Everybody, stand up. Come on, sit up straight. Now it's time for some trivia. So Danny, I have the question this week for you.
Yes.
Who is the youngest person to ever win the Grand Slam in WWE? Who's the Grand Slam champion that's the youngest to ever do it?
Youngest.
This is modern and previous, all iterations of the Grand Slam. Who was the youngest to ever do it in WWE?
So for some reason, the second you asked, my gut right away said Randy Orton.
Okay.
And if you're going, no, actually, I'm going to stick with Randy Orton. You say Grand Slam, it's got to be him because he was the youngest world heavyweight. He had won the IC right before that. And the tag team belts couldn't have been more than a year or two after that. So there's no shot anyone was younger than that. Yeah, I got to stick with Orton.
So the youngest one, and again, this is according to Wikipedia,
Oh, no.
the youngest person to ever do it is Rhea Ripley. There you go, mommy.
They're right.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, and by the way, also just popped up on my screen. A little
Sexist
reminder
ass.
for everybody. Little reminder for everybody in chat. Even though September is over, you still get a discount if you do subscribe at the moment. So still a discount if you subscribe. So definitely go and check it out. Capitalize on that discount right now. It's worth it. It's worth it.
Oh man,
yeah.
Rhea Ripley, that's a good one. Damn, I didn't even think about that. Because she won the tag team titles in NXT. Yep. Oh yeah, because those counted, right? As they turned into they unified them. Yeah. All right.
All right. So our main topic.
Very upset.
For
So
this
yes.
week.
So I think I'm back. I think I'm focused. I hope so. Where we already went over where Matt. Same place he always is. Taking care of a crying baby, probably. All right. Baby cries all the time. That's why I don't got one.
Who's taking care of the crying Matt?
Oof. I believe that would be Gangrel.
Oh, Gangrel.
So this week we decided, after we both finished the docuseries, that we want to get right into it. It's pretty fresh. Why wait? It's pretty fresh in our brain. It was a lot. And we figured, let's spend some time. Let's see what you guys thought about it. I'm really interested to see what you guys thought about it. And I'm kind of interested to see how myself and Juice thought about it. Because even like parts I was watching, I was like, damn, like, that's weird. I don't know how I'm going to feel. So I know you took notes. I feel like Note Guy should kind of take the lead and like, drive the ship. So if you need help, let me know. No, I'm just kidding. I'm here.
Well,
I got notes. I'm here.
This is say my first overall thing. He ain't that bad a guy. No, I'm kidding.
You heard it here first. Juice loves Vince McMahon.
Just instantly. You know what? Not that bad. No. Not much new info for wrestling fans. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. I mean, like, I know a lot of people, and that's the problem with these documentaries now, like the Who Killed WCW and this and that. It's like, how much more new can you really say, especially when WWE's like involved in this? Like, you're never gonna that's why Dark Side of the Ring is so much better, because they get into like stuff that like they can get into, and they don't have anybody looming over them. But a lot of talk about other wrestlers and not Vince. Yes, that was one of my biggest complaints about the thing, but we'll get to it as we get to the episodes. So right away, the very first thing I noticed, episode 1, it seemed like Vince intentionally had one foot in the entire time.
Of course.
Like, it seemed like he didn't want to really like be there or do it, but he was there. So immediately very uncomfortable. That's what I got.
I right away was saying that as much as they want to say this is Vince McMahon, that was Mr. McMahon. Say what you will, I don't care. The character was still being played on the docuseries. As much as he tried to make it seem like it wasn't, as much as he dived into some personal shit, he was still being kind of Mr. McMahon in a sense. Blended, same person, whatever you want to say, but like he knew what he was doing. Like he knew what he was saying and everything, and he knew what to give him and what not to.
Yeah. He knew to be careful. I'm sure a lot of stuff he said probably got left on the cutting room floor.
If you notice throughout the whole docuseries, I feel like anything personal that he went into was only what was already reported. There's nothing new that was really unveiled, which like that's the only reason he did it. To try to clear his name in some of those aspects, and then shit hit the fan at the end, and he couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah. Freeber says he wants the next documentary to be about the current Vince shit. Emphasis on shit. I'll show myself out. Ohio. But yeah, I mean that's not going to come from Netflix or these same people. That's the thing. Like you're gonna have to wait on that one for a few years, I think. I mean, I thought some of the insight about his dad, and again, his dad and the abusive relationship, like with his mom, like obviously that's very telling. Obviously, you don't want to get into like people's traumas and stuff like that, but like that definitely helped lead the way for him to do a lot of the things that he ended up doing and being. So
and what made me really laugh, and it happened throughout, and I think it was the first episode that it happened because that was when he was talking about the trauma. Was the first episode was he had said that quote where he was like, people who were traumatized, like they traumatize other people, and I think that's bullshit, and you don't do that, and I don't understand that. And then like obviously they did the clips, but like I thought it even before the clips, I'm like, what about literally every shitty thing you did on camera? That's literally your trauma just being played out, and like it's throughout the whole series, it's him just ironically or unironically, depending on how they edited it, just saying all these things. That's just like, man, like I think you might be that delusional where you just really don't see this in yourself, and it's crazy.
Yeah. And next thing I have is typical hypocrite. I love that he said no to Hogan for Rocky, but then he says yes to Captain Lou Albano for being in the Cyndi Lauper video. Only because it benefited Vince. It's the same thing he still does now, or did, but it doesn't change. It's just a amusing double standard to see there. Saying no to one but yes to the other.
Well, do you also think part of it, again, small part of it, giving him an ounce of credit, is that he was nervous that Hogan would get hurt on the set because it was like a physical yada yada kind of thing?
Nah, it wasn't getting physical. It was losing him to Hollywood. It's the same thing. It's just amazing how so much of like his way and like that time period is still like not relevant, but still being used now as the template. Like even when I was hearing the Cyndi Lauper story, it's the same thing as Ronda Rousey, where like Vince thought the only way people were going to care about the women was if Cyndi Lauper was out there, and that's why it happened. So like the same thing with Becky and Charlotte. The only reason they main evented was because Ronda Rousey was there. Like Vince thought they need Ronda, they need Cyndi. It's the same thing. Like it never changes with him.
Of course not.
It's just insane. Yeah.
Because in his head it worked. So why would you change it? He is the all-powerful, all-knowing of this universe. So who is he to have to change it? That's literally with the whole documentary.
Yeah. So that's all I have on episode 1. I mean, I'm good to move on to episode 2 if you are.
Yeah, everything else, just him wanting to buy it and all that crap. That's fine. And I know Jay DeFalco said he didn't know about the history of him and his father. I'm not pretending I did. All I meant was that was reported. They had shown that was like reported in like some Playboy interview or whatever. Like he had touched on it and stuff. So what I meant to say was just that anything that he did feel comfortable talking about was stuff that had already been reported. So like stuff people technically already knew. I also, with you, didn't know about it until the docuseries.
There are so many skeletons still in that closet.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know, like, truthfully.
My first note on episode 2 was imagine Triple H doing his own version of Stand Back one day to promote, anything with WWE. I think that would be amazing. doing his own stupid.
That fucking video is just one of the favorite. It's so terrible, and just Hogan playing in the background. Oh my god, it was such a cringe video.
Hogan's always going to be a bitch, man, for ratting out about the Union with Jesse. Always a bitch move.
Without a doubt, man. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people try to make him seem good. Every aspect of his life, he's shown how he's just a piece of shit. He's selfish as hell. The Union thing would have benefited him too, but since he was the number one, he couldn't take the chance that they were gonna screw him. So he went to Daddy Vince and fucking ratted him out right away. Then just whatever. Iron Sheik was always right, 100%. Vince is a
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Fucking bullshit. Yeah, and he's so full of it when he was like, "Oh, nobody would have fell in line. They absolutely would have stayed." Like,
so many people.
Or whatever. Yeah, episode 2 is where I started getting a little bit annoyed because like 15, 20 minutes of it was literally just talking about WrestleMania and Hogan. And like, listen, I get you're setting it up because of the steroid thing and the relationship with Hogan and like what he built as Vince, but it's like, and again, we've seen this a million times. I don't need to hear about WrestleMania 1 stories and Hulk Hogan, who was it's wasted 20, 15 minutes of the episode on that.
I think the reason for that was, like, you saw at the end when like they were interviewing and saying like, you saw the thing, what'd you think of it? And they were like, it was a smear job, blah, 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 blah. It really wasn't. But, that's how they're going to feel about it. I think they put that in to balance it out. So they were like, listen, you're not going to give us good personal stuff because that's Vince McMahon and he's not going to let them in like that way. If you don't know, you don't know. So let's just, what good are you going to give us? You're going to talk about your accolades, of course, because you're Vince McMahon. So we got to kind of touch on that. But they try to limit it as much as possible, I think, to like give him a fair shake so it didn't seem like a smear job. That's the only reason I think they kept doing that, because they had to do that throughout the whole thing. So it was, on one side, it was everything wrestling fans know that you've seen in every documentary, and then on the other side, it was them trying to be like, hey, and here's also the behind the scenes, just that they would let us tell you about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Freebird says, yeah, fuck him for the Union thing. Fuck Bruce Pritchard for that too.
It was not a gotcha pre.
Yeah, well, Bruce is so far up Vince's ass
Jesus
that I think when Vince dies, Bruce is gonna
kill
end
himself.
up being in the
hopefully.
No, he's gonna be in the coffin next to him. Like it's a death pact. So let's talk about Pat Patterson grabbing Tony Atlas's pecker. Huh? I think it's about time we deep dive into that. Crazy stuff.
I don't know if we need to deep dive into it, but I always found it weird that as I got older and like started like actually reading a little bit about it, that he just got off. Like, people reported that he did shit, and they were just like, "Nope, you're the one who gets away because you're Vince's boy." Blah 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 blah. Like, that was always strange to me. And then like it kind of sucked then in realization, seeing him on TV in retrospect, and be like, you're a piece of shit. You probably did something weird backstage that night.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. So moving on to episode 3. I'm going to say it like I've always said it. Bret screwed Bret, man.
Not even a question.
I'm with Vince 100%. Like, the same thing with the Wendy Richter story, man. Like, if you're working for the company and you're leaving and you're a champion, you got to do the job.
Yeah.
And it's whatever they tell you to do, man. I'm sorry. Like, that's the why I'll never.
It's not your belt. So it's not your belt.
Yeah.
That's
seriously.
It. I agree with it 100%. There's nothing anyone's ever going to say. We've heard every side of the story. We understand every aspect at this point. No one's ever, like, you either really believe that Bret screwed Bret or really believe that Bret got screwed. And if you really believe Bret got screwed, I just don't understand, like, that I just don't understand why. Like, he refused to do it. That's it. He said no.
Yeah. Just dumb. But
and then go ahead.
No, I was surprised at a few things from this episode. I was surprised that Vince actually admitted, like, we're in trouble when it comes to WCW. Like, even though he won, it's easy to say it now, but like him actually like say it on the lot right there, I was pretty surprised by that. And they almost got him, like when they started talking about how he was being a hypocrite to Ted Turner. how Ted Turner was doing exactly what like he was doing back in the 80s. You could tell Vince was getting like irked by that, by the
100%
interview.
though. Like,
But
how do you
no,
not
he's
see
right. But
it?
like,
Like,
no. But like, he almost got Vince. Like Vince almost like let go and like started like whatever, but he stopped. I was like, oh, go.
you know
It
why?
was
Because
so close.
he learned from the whatchamacallit interview back in the day to like control his goddamn
What
emotions.
was that Costas, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Costas that was. Yeah.
Fuck Costas, by the way. He
Um.
sucks today. Anyway,
Well,
moving on.
so he sucks every day. My last note about episode 3: I'm convinced the curtain call really meant nothing to the live crowd, like they say it did. Like,
What do you mean meant
I
nothing?
just well, because like they're talking about how when they did the curtain call and the crowd went nuts and they knew what it meant and they were like, oh, "This is insane." This is. I don't think anybody back in the mid '90s lost their shit over that moment at an MSG house show or whatever it was.
I mean,
Like
that
just
video,
because the one person filming it, like they say, "Oh my god," like it's one person. I don't think that crowd gave a shit or really understood what it meant. I think that's just them kind of grandstanding what the curtain call meant.
I was gonna say, I feel like that video kind of shows a dead crowd. Like, I never understood how that video showed a crowd going crazy. I never saw a
Yeah,
crowd going crazy. I saw one guy go. I heard one guy going crazy. But if you look at
yeah,
the crowd, no one's going like ah. Like, it's not
yeah,
everyone. There are some people, of course, but like they're just cheering because their favorite wrestlers are in the ring. I agree. I don't believe everyone's just like, oh, they're best friends backstage. Some people probably knew, some people didn't. Of course, some people were cheering, but yeah, I agree with you. I don't think the entire MSG crowd was like, holy shit, we're witnessing history. This is
yeah.
breaking my mind. No,
Like the internet wasn't like
nothing.
it
The
wasn't
internet
like, "Oh
was
my god,
nothing.
Triple H." Like, yeah, half the crowd was probably on the way out too. Yeah.
That's true. The match was over.
Um.
So like once that
Yeah.
bell rings and you know that was the main event, half the people are leaving. 100%
Yeah.
accurate.
One thing I liked hearing Vince talk a little bit about his favorite wrestler growing up as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard that story before, so that was a nice little like to get an insight into him a little.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that one. Nice little something.
Only thing we
Episode 4 again, man.
oh,
Like they
Christ.
did the same thing where they like recap the Attitude Era and Austin, and it's like I don't need that. Like
Well,
move
that's
on.
again, that's the good before they attack him about Owen, because
Yeah.
like some people didn't know that like Owen's blood was still on the mat and shit. Like some like that. I texted you guys. I don't remember the pay per view, so like I couldn't remember some of the segments and stuff. Watching Deborah like not
Oh yeah.
break down while Jarrett's talking about her fucking tits as their best friends dying on the way to the hospital was like heartbreaking. I had to pause it. It literally I felt so bad for her. It was crazy. Like, how do you do that to people? It's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunate. But I loved him calling the Attitude Era family friendly too. Like, and they're showing all the clips of like all this crazy stuff
He's
happening in the
like,
background. With it.
we never use guns. The bit like one of the biggest
Film.
goddamn segments.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was dying,
Um,
and that's when I said, man, I think he's legit delusional. Like, there's no, if you actually believe that, you're delusional. If you literally, and the problem is I don't know what he actually doesn't remember and does remember, because obviously we're never gonna get to this guy's head. But I believe the Sable stuff was that this episode, or was that the next episode?
Sable was next episode.
Sable's next episode. All right, so I'll save it for them. But
Yeah.
like, that's a great example of him not like. Are you really that naive? Or are you really that lost? Or do you really not whatever? Anyway, sorry. Continue with this episode.
No. My last two things were just about Owen and all that. I mean, I think it's bullshit that he says if the audience saw Owen fall, then he would have canceled the show. I don't buy that. He still would have done the show. There's no way he would have canceled it. Freebird says, I don't think anyone gave a shit either, yet this is like a big part of history.
That was to that.
I love that
MSG
Brett.
thing.
Yeah, the curtain call, yeah. I love that Brett was like, if that were Shane on the mat, he would have canceled the show. Yeah, that was fucking.
That was Shannon. Yeah, 100%. But also, I don't believe no one saw that, even if the lights are out.
Oh yeah, no, someone saw it.
Multiple, like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Textbook narcissistic behavior throughout the doc. I saw the signs for all of his candid pics. He shared ones where he was jacked in a speedo. Well,
that's
yeah.
because he's Mr. Health
um,
and Fitness, man, of course.
yeah. And then Brett, fucking listen, man. I love you. I don't love you, but like,
Bro, that was a crazy statement.
that's some paranoid shit
That
to
was a
say.
crazy statement.
Like, oh, I thought Vince murdered Owen to get back at Brett for leaving. That's insane.
Even if you thought that for a second,
Thing to
bro,
say.
I was just like, listen, man, he kicked you out. It's not like you like if you had done the the World Heavyweight Title thing like Alonzo Blaze and embarrass him. I don't even want to say maybe, but like maybe. No, that was crazy. He said that.
Yeah. Wild stuff. The next episode was probably my favorite one because it dove a lot into like Shane and Steph and the relationship there.
Yeah, that was a really eye-opening one.
But at first, did I hear this right? Like, I mean, did Vince say something about like admitting to incest like right at the beginning? Like, I could have swore I heard him say something with the word incest. I rewound.
I believe he said. I believe he said his family, like from childhood, there was incestual behavior, meaning like I think he was abused, and I believe he made that also as an incestual thing, or maybe it was something with his family. I don't know, but he did reference something from his childhood, not him, not Shane and Stephanie.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Either way, and then he says, the crazy quote: "Anytime they interact, they love what you're doing," which I think is very telling for Vince. How like, you know, a reaction is all you need, whether it's bad or good. Just shows you how different Vince is from Triple H, where like he'd do something really dumb or stupid to get a reaction, whereas Triple H just doesn't really take like that kind of a risk for a kaboo or whatever.
Agreed.
But I feel like I probably knew, but never officially knew that Shane like really didn't like Triple H and Stephanie being together, like legit. I guess, you know, being protective of Steph. So Shane being a real one. I mean, he's still a McMahon in my heart of hearts. I still don't trust him. I feel like there's no way he can be completely clean. I just can't, even though he's probably the least lesser of all of them. Falverton says McMahon equals a Lannister. Yeah, it's a very,
that's
very accurate.
At this point, that's what it feels like.
Very accurate point. Him suggesting an actual live wedding on pay-per-view, typical Vince behavior. Sable, Vince saying he doesn't remember anything about the Sable lawsuit and any of that shit.
Impossible.
Insane. No way.
I don't believe it, man. I can't believe he's that petty though that he won't give her the time of day now. That's what it is, and that's crazy because that Sable thing was like even I knew about it and I was a kid and I knew about it. That's how like much headline it took over. That's wild.
Last thing about this episode that I have is the Vince and Shane, the knife story from Paul Heyman.
Yes.
That's crazy how like Jay says he is that petty, made real life shit storylines all the time. Oh yeah, of course. But like insane that like Vince, like, I mean, not that insane actually. It's par for the course for Vince, where he's just like, you know, you want it or whatever, go. Like, here's the knife, stab me. Like, holy shit.
And he meant it.
Absolutely. And that's definitely what made Shane leave too. Like, that had to be the story.
He's like, my dad's a psycho. I gotta go.
Seriously.
Oh man. And then last episode.
Yeah, last episode
was really not about him, which
because he stepped away.
Shocked me though. But like, I figured they'd especially when he stepped away, they would refer more to it, and I guess they didn't want to take the chance because not all the information was out, which I understand. But yeah, no, that was.
Yeah, well,
that was just a heavy episode all around, though, because they referred to everything else.
First off, major points downgrade, like, for Austin, man. Like, what are you doing? You don't believe in CTE? Come on.
Like, you're gonna have it, bro. Like, I'm sorry, Austin, you're one of the ones who's gonna have it with the way you wrestled. There's no shot. It's sad.
Come on, and I forget. Yeah, it's so messed up. I forget who said it. but somebody said something about I think on the news they were putting on the image of like fans not caring about when talent or wrestlers were dying.
Yeah,
And like
that's horse shit too.
that's bullshit, man. Every wrestling fan always cared when a wrestler died. Like you cannot. That's bullshit.
I understand what they mean. That like
But they move
people
on. But like,
people
nah,
keep
man. I mean,
going to the shows and supporting it, but it's like that's not them not caring at all. Like if anything, they're trying to show more tribute to them, like at the show and stuff like that.
Freebird says, yeah, the Austin CTE thing pissed me off. Yeah. And then the last thing I got is I found it very telling how the very last thing they showed was them asking all those talents, what is Vince McMahon's legacy? And all of them were afraid to answer. All of them were like, and they couldn't give an answer. Very telling.
They try to make it seem like the talents were telling like, oh my God, telling everything and no. Like they were very, very careful, and it's all right. Like, you're gonna be, but at the same time, like you're never gonna get it from people who are still in the company. You're never gonna get a real, unbiased thing from the Undertaker or The Rock, no matter what they feel about him. Like they grew up with him. He is a dad to them. Like it's weird.
It's a little sad.
It is.
Either way, it was a good watch. Like I didn't.
Yes.
It was just like. Not much. I didn't really expect anything to the last episode. Truthfully, I didn't expect anything, but
That's
I got
fair.
a lot out of it, so I liked it. Overall.
That's fair. Yeah, I didn't hate it, and nothing surprised me in a negative or positive way. Like I didn't expect more, and I got a lot from what they gave us. So like I was really happy with it.
Oh. All right. Well, if anybody else has any thoughts in the chat about the documentary, let us know what you think as we move along. We'll still talk about it if you want, but I think at this time it's a good opportunity for us to take a quick commercial break.
Yes, sir.
When we come back, I'm going to open up my little pack of AEW cards. We're going to break down Bad Blood, and we're going to make our predictions for WrestleDream. So stay tuned. Little quick break. We'll see you back here in about a minute. Listen to those cool jams from Accept the Win coming on up.
Don't say yes and don't say no. And all I want is for you to say maybe so. Just one forgotten fight. We've just one last desire. And I was so close tonight. And I was so close tonight. When I went under a starry foreign sky. 'Cause here on earth I was so damn close tonight. And I was so. And if you could stop pretending, being what you think your heart should be. Well, there's no need to remind me to think of who we were way back when. Just one forgotten fire. We've just one last desire. And I was so close tonight. And I was so close tonight. Just one forgotten fire. Leave just one last desire. And I was so close tonight. And I was so damn close tonight. When I went under a starry foreign sky. 'Cause here on earth I was so damn close tonight.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with the beautiful card unpacking. Juice,
Yes.
show us what you got.
Let's go. So again, this is the AEW Metal Collection for 2022. This is the third pack from the same blaster box I'm opening. Let's see what we got. We got an Evil Uno from the base set right there.
That's a nice one.
Pretty good guy. I like that.
I like the pose.
Ooh, I like this one. Hangman Adam Page.
Is that
world
with the
title on him.
World Heavyweight Championship? There you go.
Another base set. Ooh, this one's a Bonzo Gonzo card with Penta on it. Like it's all like
That's awesome.
all cut on the side.
What's
like
on
a
the back?
comic book. It's the same move, just with some writing and stuff, so nothing crazy.
Nice.
But that's really cool with all the little like zigzags and stuff. So that's definitely my hit for the pack, like that. You got a blue Julia Hart, which is the other hit of each. It looks like there's one blue in each pack that I'm getting, so I like that. And then lastly, we have some more three base set cards. We have Austin Gunn. Like that one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Pose wise.
Ooh. We got Claudio. Okay.
All right.
Like that one a lot. And then lastly, one of your favorites. Your father.
My dad. Hi, Dad.
Christian Cage.
Hi, Dad.
Yeah.
He had
cool.
I
like that
he had a very confusing interaction with Hook last night. I was kind of disappointed that nothing really came from that Hook segment, so that's the only reason I mentioned, because we're not going to talk about it. But yeah, I thought they was going to do something for a minute at least, but no.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, so let's get started. We're gonna talk. Do we want to do the Bad Blood review, like show the results first, or do AEW first?
Let's just show the results. Don't have to talk about too much about that crud. No, I'm just kidding. So, Bad Blood results were all over the place, not gonna lie. As you guys can see, Matt and Juice both going 3-2. Myself going 2-3. I was hoping for
should have been 4-1. Oh, we'll get to that.
Definitely should have been 4-1
Definitely
for
should
you.
have been 4-1, but
I'm not too
yes.
upset by that.
Yeah.
Would have made a difference because it would have been good for me too. Yeah, no, that was let's just start with that one. Might as well just start with that one.
Yeah,
What
you
the
know, man,
hell?
like,
That was crazy.
yeah, they botched the ending,
Like,
botched the whole ending.
but what I didn't understand was even the referee like didn't put herself in a position like she turned around as if
Was it a
she
female ref? I thought it was a
or
male
he
ref.
sorry he turned around as if like he didn't see some I don't
Yeah, he intentionally went out of his way twice to avoid Raquel.
it's
And the
crazy
crazy thing is, I don't blame Raquel. I blame the referee. And it's
100%.
like you had to have planned and booked this ending and talked about it. Like, how? How are you not in position for the big finish to not see what you need to see?
Or
And again, Raquel clearly kept doing the spot and put Liv on top. Liv was supposed to pin her clean. Liv was supposed to pin her, and it completely just ruined it. I hated it. He Rick Knoxed it. Absolutely did. Terrible.
I'll give Dom credit. I didn't expect that spot when he fell out of the cage like that. That was cool.
Yeah,
I've never seen that before. And
that was cool.
and I don't
thought he was
understand how
cool.
the ref just that's where you focus. That's where you're supposed to be. And instead you get in Raquel's way as she's coming in, pretend that you didn't just knock into her, and then still fuck it up.
And I hated that they showed on the camera, like, and Rhea's like, I'm going to go take care of business. And the referee's like, okay, you deserve that. Like,
right? What the hell was that shit?
What? That's, like, what?
Terrible. Terrible
Terrible.
match, terribly
Awful.
booked, terrible ending. Only good
Awful.
thing was Dirty Dom, bro. That was the only good thing about the match was Dirty Dom.
Let's move on. So bad.
Moving on, let's go with Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. Pretty much what you said. Unfortunately, what I hoped wouldn't happen, but Damian Priest wins it. No surprise. Nia Jax versus Bayley. No surprise there. Nia Jax wins it. Anyone who expected anything different was silly. I want to go with CM Punk versus Drew first because that one was awesome, and then I want to talk about that weird-ass main event. So, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Started out the show. Everything you wanted, I think. How'd you feel? I mean, amazing to me.
Yeah, honestly, I doubt it at this point. I know there's still like 2.5 months left. I can't see it happening. This is hands down my WWE match of the year. It was amazing. Like, it was so good. They did everything that they needed to do. For a blow off, like it's over. I don't care if it's blood packets or capsules or whatever. I don't care. You're doing it. That's an upgrade alone.
Those staples in Drew's head didn't seem like blood packets to me.
not Drew. Punk was. Punk did. But Drew, even if Drew did at first a capsule or packet, yes, he did eventually get the toolbox over the head, and he got the 5 or 6 stitches.
Oh my god.
The spot where his back hit the steps off the Claymore was amazing.
Oh my god, bro, that was crazy.
Very.
What the spot where it looked like CM Punk was it the table spot outside? Where like they just laid for like 5 minutes. I thought CM Punk like broke every bone in his body when they went through the table on the outside, and you barely like they fit that perfectly where they didn't hit the side at all, they didn't hit the apron at all. That was a great suplex by Drew. Perfect spot. Great match. Again, can't say anything more better about it. And then if
Drew
you didn't see Raw the next... Sorry.
Drew taking Darby Allin type spots as Jay. Welcome. Yep.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It was crazy. And then...
Raw the next night, Punk pretty much made it seem like he's gone for a while. And the way he made it sound, he's like, I told you guys I didn't have a Hell in a Cell in me, and I didn't have a Hell in a Cell in me, and I don't know when I'm going to be back. He ended it with like, I wish I could say I'll see you soon, but I truthfully don't know when. So that sounds like to me Royal Rumble. Like that's when I expect to see Punk again. No way they're that nuts. See, I was thinking, okay, this is their way of like, he clearly doesn't want to do Saudi Arabia shows yet.
Oh yeah.
And so he's at least off till then. So if he's not back after Saudi, like I'd be surprised.
Do you think he's
But,
back for Survivor Series for his 1 year
I hope so,
anniversary?
man. Just what the hell are we doing otherwise? Like, really? Really?
Just the way he said it, and then like also, it's not as if like I thought then with Seth coming out that Seth would try to instigate a little bit, but he didn't really say anything that mattered.
That's a long.
He just
That's
went
a
right
long.
to Reed.
It's a long-term thing. So we're probably
agree.
getting Punk and Seth at Mania because
Yep.
God forbid they pull the trigger on a story early.
Yep. So that means maybe one of them wins the World Heavyweight Championship from Walter, and they finally do the World Heavyweight Championship, which is why I kind of think CM Punk is coming back at Rumble, winning Rumble, and that sets him up for Seth.
I don't know.
I hope not, because I want to see Punk before then, but that's the way it made it seem last night. And then going on to that main event, man, what the fuck? Just another example of WWE rushing another story. Jimmy was nowhere on anyone's radar. You could have had them lose, finally built up the bloodline, because this is an easy opportunity to say Roman and Cody just can't get along. They just don't trust each other. There was just a miscommunication. They take advantage, and then you start saying the seeds that Roman has no one, and that's when Jimmy can come in. But now Jimmy's just back.
No creativity.
It's fucking really crazy.
Yep.
So
I immediately remember what a Roman Reigns match is and just checked out until the last 10 minutes. It was terrible.
Yeah.
And then freaking Dwayne has to show up and do absolutely nothing, and everyone loses their minds.
The part that pissed me off the most is that he wears the stupid belt. I don't give a fuck about your People's Championship. Leave it at home. It doesn't matter. What are you bringing it out for?
I got nothing.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, terrible. And then what he do? He did like a 1, 2, 3, and what? Like, the fuck does that mean?
Okay, you know what? People were so stupid.
The fuck does that mean?
I know what it means. He was counting down for them to hit his music, and everyone, like somebody during the post show,
gotcha.
Somebody during the post show actually asked Triple H, like Rock coming out and doing 1, 2, 3 for Cody, Roman, and Jimmy. I'm like, no, he wasn't. You fucking moron. Idiot. He was just counting down for his music to hit. It wasn't that.
I didn't realize that. That's actually really fucking funny. I didn't realize he was doing the countdown. That's great.
He was just counting down to hit his music.
Other people are saying that he's bringing 3 people with him, and like they're gonna start that whole 3-way Civil War bullshit. I hope not. If there's any more fucking Samoans coming, I don't want any more. I'm good. I'm sick of them. Sorry. I'm over this.
I've been on that ship since Solo Sikoa, so welcome.
I'm not like I haven't.
You kind of weren't for a while.
Oh no, I said I was hoping they would do well. Solo was trash.
Oh,
I was hoping.
I don't even want to talk about the Crown Jewel belt, Jay. We'll talk about it another time.
Oh, fuck the Crown Jewel belt. Yeah, we're moving on. AEW, let's talk about... Actually, I was going to say, let's talk about something good. I don't know how you feel, man. I'm not feeling good about AEW. Oh, wait, sorry. Just really quick, that brought our overall record to 138 and 89 for Matt, 176 and 51 for myself, and 172 and 55 for Juice, who gained a match on me. So now I'm only 4 ahead. Whew. Feeling the pressure. All right, WrestleDream. Before you get started, I just gotta say I am really disappointed. This is just another example, and we've been saying this for a while, of TK being so focused on putting on like great matches or once in a lifetime or never before seen that he sacrifices story for the sake of the match. And besides maybe 2 or 3, and that's stretching it, there is no story behind 8 to 9 of these 11 matches, and it sucks.
I won't agree with that. I'd be curious to know which ones you don't think have a story. As we go through, we can talk about that. I think they all have stories. They're weak, and they're not long-term, like 6-month epic stories. And it's just, and that's okay sometimes. It is okay sometimes, but the problem is in the last 2 months, and we talked about this last year, the last 2 months we've had All In, All Out, Grand Slam, 5th anniversary show, Title Tuesday, and now WrestleDream. Like that's 6 huge shows technically. Well, 5. I'll say 5. I won't really count Title Tuesday. 5 huge shows in like a less than 2-month span.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
When I
And
say, just really quick, when I say no story, I mean less than like 2 to 3 week build. Like to me, that's not a story. Oh, that's what I mean. Like you just threw it together at the last second. Like I don't think Briscoe and Jericho's a story. I know they try to get there, but like they really pushed that in the last week or two. Like they haven't built that up. Jericho all of a sudden wants a belt, mentioned his brother once, and now it's a story. There's really no build there.
they've been feuding with the conglomeration ever since like
but he's been feuding with Cassidy, not Briscoe. Like I'm just saying it was a really quick pivot to try to get more emotion behind it, and I think they just used the brother just to really gut punch it instead of like I don't mind them using. I don't know if that sounds disrespectful or not. I don't mind them using his dead brother in a storyline because I'm sure his dead brother would totally approve of it. But use it better. All you did was just bring it once up for a gut punch because you knew you needed some extra drama behind the story. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean it elevated. I don't know. I can't.
Of course.
Like of the 4 on the screen right now, like MXM and Acclaimed have a story. Mark and Chris have a story. I think they have one. Hologram and Beast, very light. Like they fought once before, and then they attacked them.
I don't know about
this week.
I'll admit I don't know about Atlantis, and Brian Cage. If they have a story, I have no idea.
Absolutely nothing there.
Okay, so that's my point.
But that's ROH,
and that's the only disagreement we have is that you think there's more of a story of Briscoe than I do. I'm not saying there's none, just not enough for me. But yeah, of these 4, 1 to 2 have a story. So now let's see how much more.
Well, before we scroll down, little quick apology to the chat. I went off Wikipedia. Apparently, MXM Collection versus Acclaimed is a Rampage spoiler. So there you go. It's happening on WrestleDream.
Really? I thought they announced that on when he was wearing the stupid heart-shaped jacket. I thought that's when they announced the match.
No.
Oh.
So it's happening. They're announcing it tomorrow night. So spoiler,
my apologies then, yeah.
No, that's my fault. I'm the one that put it on there. I didn't really check until like an hour before the show, and I was like, oh well. But yeah, I guess we could scroll down from here.
So really quick, the only difference, because between me and you, we can't talk with Matt, and Matt usually differs from us on purpose at points, is the Acclaimed MXM Collection. Just, I don't know if they'll give them the win over the Acclaimed. Like, I know they should, but now this is a story of, like, should they versus will they? Because the Acclaimed is, like, the hotter team. Are they going to try to get them hot again at the expense of MXM? I don't know.
Yeah, I think MXM really needed to be taken seriously. But here's the thing. I'm going to wait and see. I'm assuming this is going to be added to the kickoff. And if it is on the 0 hour or whatever, I might change my pick.
I'm also going to see how they present it on Rampage, because that also might affect my pick depending on how they present it there.
Yeah. And also, Hologram, I know it's 2 out of 3 falls. Hologram should either win 2 falls in a row, or if Mortos gets one, it's like by DQ or something where you just like Hologram shouldn't be getting pinned or submitted in 2 out of 3 falls. He's undefeated. You know what I mean?
I gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah. That's just my opinion.
No, I didn't even think of that, and I like that. So I want to see where they go with that. That makes sense to me. Nice. Mm-hmm. All right, next 4. Oh, yeah, that's good. All right, so here we got Allen and Darby. No story.
Oh, there you go.
No story there.
Yeah,
it's just an open challenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're right. I mean, the promo work gave it backstory. Like, if we're really threading
yes.
They gave you a paper-thin reason as to why they're doing it. But long-term, yeah, it's clearly just thrown together to get Darby on the show and get a win.
Yes. So we all agree Darby, though, which I do like. Sorry, camera change. We all agree Darby, though, which I do like.
I do like that his promos lately, by the way, have been more like Moxley-esque ever since like Mox got to him. He's been cutting them, I feel like, a little bit like that. So I kind of like that change in Darby.
Sorry, I was just helping the producer with the camera to make sure we got some of the top belts.
Not a problem.
And yeah, I do agree with that. His promos have been more serious, and I do think they're going to, again, they're building to that World Heavyweight Championship, and I'm starting to think he might be the one. I truly do, because whoever's going to take it off Danielson has to elevate them to the next level. There's no reason to give it to a Moxley. There's no reason to give it to Omega, a Page, Swerve. Anyone who's established doesn't need it. I think Darby's the one to take it off him. And I'm going to say that now. I'm making a bold prediction.
All right.
Anyway, moving on. This one does have story. Full credit. Ospreay, Ricochet, Takeshita. No, hey, I said the name right. No,
Tony Schiavone
no doubt. He's the worst. So, this is another one where I'm not sure. I picked Ospreay because that's the safe pick, but I could totally see the reason for this triple threat to finally get the belt off him, but I just don't know if they go where they go with him. Because if they don't go to the World Heavyweight Championship with him, what's the point? And then you're not going to have him lose twice to Danielson.
Yeah, I don't think he goes to the world title or anything.
So I just don't know where he goes.
Well, he keeps shooting with Takeshita and Ricochet and the Callis family. Clearly, the Callis family just got Archer in a trade deal, which we'll get to in a minute.
Kind of excited about that. I hope it works.
But this is honestly, like, on paper, the show will be fine. This is truly the only match I'm looking forward to this weekend.
No, this one, I know the main event, you're not looking forward to because of what happened, but I do want to see how that match, plays out. No. Tag team title match. So, dog's going to attack me. So, story admitted, but I'm going to be petty here. Private Party, because of one specific move, I didn't think they deserved to win the match. At one point in that triple threat number one contenders match, Isaiah sent his partner over. His partner got demolished by the House of Black. He looked at them and said, "All right, I can take you guys," and ran to go do his dive just to do the stupid spot and then got demolished. And I was like, you guys don't deserve to win this match. That was so stupid.
They tried, but they did.
I hate you. But yeah, the story I feel like should have went more with Top Flight than them, though. I feel like Top Flight's been feuding more with Young Bucks than Private Party. Am I wrong about that?
No, you're a little wrong. I mean,
Okay.
right now it's been Top Flight, the Righteous, and House of Black feuding, and Private Party and Commander were doing the thing with Blackpool Combat Club, and then the Bucks now. So I mean,
You're right.
It's been
I was
different
thinking it's a
things.
Blackpool Combat Club, but you're right.
But my problem with it, like, while you have an issue with story lately, I have a problem with, like, logic in the booking of certain things. Like, I'm fed up with matches where matches to determine contenders for title shots. Like, you just had Private Party pin the Bucks on Wednesday,
right?
Like, that's enough.
They are their number one contender.
Right there. That's enough. Like, clearly they let the stories happen as stories and not just like matches to win to earn shots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was no reason to even have a triple threat number one contenders match. Like, I hated it. And like, listen, I'm glad Private Party's getting a shot. I really want them to win, but after this past Wednesday, the promo they cut, I feel like it's gonna go to the Bucks still.
But again, this is also another one where I feel like it's a very short put together feud for the sake of a story. So like, this is another one.
Banking on the history.
Yeah, that's the problem. A lot of it is banking on past stuff, like build something up now, do something. I don't know. That's just me being, I guess, like annoyed at it.
I don't mind them using the history. That's what I want compared to WWE never acknowledging the past.
Yes,
I'm fine with it, but give it a little more fire.
Exactly.
More time.
Let the history be fuel, not the main reason.
I think this Bucks run has been the worst title run in the history. It's up
I
there,
agree,
honestly.
and I'm a Bucks fan, and I agree that it's been a bad title run. It's been very boring. It's a WWE title run, in my opinion.
I think all of their reigns have been really bad, and I know that sounds biased, but I really don't think any of them have been good.
It's true. Moving on, Jack Perry, Shibata, another one where, like, yes, technically this feud started at Grand Slam, but, like, there's no substance. There's no feud to me. This is just a match to have a match.
Yeah.
So, of the next four, another one where just one, in my opinion, 1 out of 4 acts an actual story. So of the first 8 we saw, I personally only think 2 of the first 8 have a real story. Like it, that's what I'm saying. I'm checked out of this personally. It kind of sucks. As far as picks, I think we agree. It looks like we agree on everyone else except for Ospreay and Takeshita. So, and that might even change for either one of us. So we'll see. Next last three.
There's no collision. There's no collision this week either. So tomorrow night's it.
I know. So last 3 we have Mariah May versus Willow Nightingale. Another one where story is just this one. I feel like at least they've talked a little more because I like Willow's promos, but another one where the story's just kind of pushed. It's just here's Grand Slam. Let's get, because Willow just finished feuding with Stat. So it's not as if like Willow and Mariah have been kind of crossing each other's paths or whatever. She finished a feud with Stat, doesn't deserve a title shot because she lost the feud with Stat, but gets a title shot, and now again we know she's losing. It's not real substance there. I'll admit that maybe there's a feud or a build-up, but not a good one. I personally also, because we're not going to be able to talk about her, love the Born Again Stat.
Really? No
I
way.
kind of think it's interesting. You don't think it's going to be an interesting story? Oh, okay.
Dude, it's a flop, man. Like, she was a heel for 6 months with Stokely, and they just stopped. Completely unearned.
Of course.
Hate it. I hate it. It's so fucking... And it goes into them not having baby faces. That's why they did it.
And what's funny, what made me laugh is that they didn't have that... They didn't have that relationship end, but they made sure to have Archer and Jake Roberts end, even though we haven't seen Jake Roberts on TV for how long. So they made sure that one was ended, but they couldn't make sure that she ends her relationship with I can't think of his name. Terrible. I can't think of his name. Help me.
You can do it.
Help me. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to think of it. Just say it. Hurry up.
Oh, well, moving on.
Moving on. So next up, we have Hangman Page, Jay White. Another one that's not a real feud to me. This one got started a few weeks ago because he attacked their buddies in a lumberjack match, and it's only like 2 or 3 weeks old. This isn't a big deal to me, besides that it's just like, oh, we get to watch a great match. And it's going to be a great match. Don't get me wrong.
Well, again, here's the thing. I think I'm with you, but I'm not with you.
Which is fair.
On your overall statement of, like, no story. Because, like, again, this has a story where Paige was one of, again, like Jay White said, Paige is one of the 2 people, Paige is one of the 2 people that stood in Jay White's way of becoming a champion. And now this is Jay White's, like, redemption tour against, those 2 people to get his comeback. So, and they haven't been able to do it because Paige was away for a while, then Jay was away for a while. So it's kind of picking that back up. So I don't hate it. There is a story there. It's just this is a story that's starting. This isn't a payoff. So I'm okay with it.
That's fair. And looking at it from that lens makes it better for me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, again, I really feel like, with the exception of, like, I'm not going to make you scroll up. I think maybe like 2 or 3 matches on this show don't have a solid story behind them. Everything else, it's got enough. It's still kind of thrown together, but it's got enough.
But that's my point. Like, that's not going to get me to buy the pay-per-view that it's got enough.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's not good enough for their standards.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fair. Absolutely fair.
And then the last match that I am looking forward to, I know you're not, for some personal reasons, some legit reasons, but Danielson versus Moxley, just going to be, it's going to be a good match. Maybe something we've seen before, definitely bloody. And my question is, what... I hate to say it like this. What's the best ending here? Because I don't see a positive outcome, which is what I'm nervous about.
I mean, Danielson has to win.
Right? But then this doesn't make sense for this whole Moxley takeover, because your first big attack, you lose. So how are you going to take over?
Yeah. I don't like it. And that's why a Mox DQ. I mean, you could end the. Here's the thing: if you're going to end the show, the main event with a DQ, like, you got to have the debut, return, reveal of who is
I agree.
doing whatever.
I agree.
If that's the reveal, Mox is the heel here. It shouldn't be a babyface pop to send everybody home happy. So I don't.
And then the other problem is you already ended the last pay-per-view with Danielson with him limp on the floor, being suffocated, being beaten. So it's not even like you can do a DQ where you leave. Was that the last pay-per-view? Wasn't that?
Well, no, because that pay-per-view ended with a cage match. But
No, well, I'm saying where you left Danielson. I'm talking about how you can't leave Danielson a bloody mess again because
you could.
But I'm
but
saying
not in the main event.
it's gonna be a repeat. So like then you have to bring out a reveal. That's my point. That you can't just leave him a bloody mess. If you do that, you have to bring someone else out to make it different from what you just did a month ago. Or else it's just kind of like what.
Yeah.
Great, you're won by DQ. You didn't win the belt. You left him in the same spot he was. He's still the champion, so nothing changed there, and we still don't know who's running the show. So, like, there is no payoff in that situation.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, we will see. There's still, I don't know. I feel like there's so much life. Again, like looking at the card, like still no Mercedes, like no Okada, like where are these people on the show? It just feels pretty weak. And then also, I mean, Swerve's returning on WrestleDream. Do you think he's gonna fight? I don't think he's fighting. I think he's just coming back to talk.
Yeah, they would have announced another open challenge or something. Grizzled Young Vets again. Yeah, what the fuck? So, thank you, Jay, because I remembered I wanted to rant about this when I saw them face the Outrunners. Is like you brought them in, you had this huge feud with with FTR, and now they're gone. I haven't seen them before they face the I forgot about them as a serious contender before they face the Outrunners because I was like they're not as big of a deal as you brought them in, and it kind of sucks. I want them to be like on the map. I want them to be in the title hunt. I want them to be like a big deal, and I feel like they're just gonna get tossed to the side now.
Well, that's why we got to get the belts off the Bucks. That's 100%. Why I really hope Private Party. I want Private Party to win, and then you do Private Party GYV right away.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Just that night. Yeah. All right. Any last thoughts about AEW besides what we talked about for WrestleDream?
I have 3 quick things. Garcia staying AEW, awesome.
Yep.
Penelope Ford is back. That's cool. I'm intrigued to see if she's actually going to be with Saraya and them or just her own thing.
Nice.
But I'm happy to see her back. Solid new talent back in. And last thing, the Callis Archer trade. I think it's a mismatch with Jake the Snake with Roosh and all them. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, if Jake the Snake's going to be around and on weekly with them, cool.
Wait.
Like disappears.
Sorry, Did I miss that?
But
what did I miss with that? I thought did he already reveal Jake with them already that night? I must have not seen that segment in the back. I saw him do the trade. I saw him shake the hands and talk about that, and then that's the last thing I saw about that news. I must have missed that. My bad.
Did you watch Hologram versus Commander?
Yes.
So after the match,
okay. After the match, I stepped away to go to the bathroom. That's what happened.
All three of them, Roosh, Mortos, they all ran out, attacked them both, and they did their pose in the ring. And then Jake the Snake came out on stage and did the pose with them. So Jake the Snake is now.
Oh, that's so stupid! Oh my
Jake
god!
Jake the Snake is now managing the 3 of them, and if he's around every week and Roosh isn't really talking as much, I'm willing to see it play out. But if it's still Roosh cutting promos and Jake the Snake is just standing there saying mysterious things, it feels like a mismatch. No, so
I'm so mad.
I don't know. I'll let it play out.
I'm glad I didn't see it. I'm so glad I didn't see it. That's so terrible.
Well, you shouldn't be, because now what would happen if you saw a WrestleDream? He comes out with them, you'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like,
I'd still be this mad. This would still be the same reaction. It wouldn't have changed.
Yep. So there you go. That's all I got. Listen, I'm sure WrestleDream's going to deliver. Like on paper, it looks okay,
but
booking wise, it's a mess.
That's the problem, though. Is that's what, as an AEW fan, I feel like that's where we're starting to fall back on, and that's not the standard I wanted. It's going to deliver. Yes, it has to deliver because of the talent. Yeah. That's like saying, and respectfully, depending on your opinion, if you're a WWE fan, those pay-per-views deliver because the talent makes you love the matches. If you like that style, that's what you like. But with no story, great, it delivers. Next week, you have another match that delivers. Half your Dynamite matches deliver. Like, you do this. You need some story. Get them invested to want to buy the pay-per-view or care about who wins and loses besides, oh shit, that was an awesome match. I can't believe blah, blah, blah won. No. Oh, they should have fucking won. How'd they lose? What the fuck's going to happen next? Like, that's the reaction I want to have. And for 85% of this card, that's not going to be the reaction after the match. It's going to be like, oh, great, they won. Next. Oh, great, he won. Cool. The only match that you just got me switched on that I'm actually going to be more invested in than I thought was Adam Page and Jay White, because there might be some more payoff after that. So I'm going to be more invested than just like, oh shit, like Jay White won, what a great match. Or oh shit, Adam Page won, like, oh shit, what's going to happen next? Like, that's what I want to feel. And I just don't feel that.
I think it's there. I honestly, I think the problem is just pacing. I think they need less pay-per-views in between. I think it's just a mess right now with that.
Of course.
And I think after this, we're going to get better because Full Gear will be a month away, and then World's End will be a month away, and then Revolution is 2 months away. So I think we're going to get back on A-Track with the Continental Classic coming too.
That's what I'm hoping. That's true. Yeah, the Continental Classic will give us a little more stories in between also, yeah.
It'll be fine. Just right now, it's a mess.
I agree. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another night of the Sharpshooters. Accept the Wind, thank you so much for giving us music to play tonight. Please enjoy. Look on Spotify. Download their stuff. They are great. And Jay DeFalco, thank you for our video. It really meant a lot to us, and we're going to use it every week. So, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy. Same time, same place next week. Yankees up 1-0 already. Let's fucking go. See you guys later. Peace out.
Go Yankees, go Rangers.
Wanna get the picture right, wanna light in hindsight. I want the corners to align, So you live a life of misery. You wanna dance to a different beat. You gotta put the past behind you. Outside your walls is a chance to breathe. Take a look and